If you don't know how to count words and numbers in IELTS listening, your score will go down like this. Yes, it's true, the instructions are hard to understand. When I started practicing, I found them so confusing. But to get a high score, you must know how words and numbers are counted. If you want to know how to do this video is for you. By the end of this video, you will know how to count words and numbers without any problems. You will do this in your sleep, trust me. By the way, guys, if you are going to take your IELTS soon, check out my IELTS materials. There, I teach you everything you need to score high. I show you step by step how to give high-scoring answers. And of course, we do many practice tests together, so you will feel confident for your test. You can find the link to my course in the description box. And now, let's play a game. This game is called Words and Numbers. We have 9 rounds, so you have 9 chances to choose the correct answer. The more answers you get correct, the better. You get 1 point for each correct answer. Get a paper and a pen now to write down your answers and points. After the game, I'm going to explain why the correct answers are correct. I'm going to tell you how words and numbers are counted in IELTS listening, so you will know how to do it in your IELTS test. Now, we will start with round number 1. Let's warm up with this one. How many words and/or numbers is this? 3,452,333. Is it A, 1 number, B, 13 words, or C, 11 words? I will give you a few seconds so you can think about it. Write down the correct letter on your sheet of paper. What do you think? Is it A, B, or C? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look at the solution. The correct answer is C, 11 words. If you got this one correct, mark 1 point on your sheet of paper. I'm going to explain why C is correct after the game. But now you just have to try to get as many answers correct as you can. Let's move on to round number 2. This one is difficult because it's a date. Most IELTS students don't like dates because they are tricky if you don't know how to handle them. But maybe you do. Let's see whether you can answer this one correctly. How many words and/or numbers is June 10th? Is it A, 1 number and 1 word, B, 1 number and 2 words, or C, 1 number, 1 word and 1 symbol? Which is the correct answer, guys? A, B, or C? Write down the correct letter on your answer sheet now. I will give you another second. And the correct answer is A, 1 number and 1 word. If you got this correct, well done! We will go over the reasons why after the game. It's getting harder and harder in here. This one is tricky. If the instructions tell you to write 1 number, how do you write $15.30? Like this, this, or this? What do you think, guys? Which of these is correct? Now, put A, B, or C on your sheet of paper. If you chose B, that's correct. The instructions tell you to write 1 number, and this is 1 number. If you're confused now, don't worry. I'm going to explain why after our game, and then it will become crystal clear to you. Round number 4. This is one that I found extremely confusing when I started practicing for IELTS listening. I didn't understand what was going on here, so let's see whether you know how this one is counted. We're talking about second place. Is it A, 1 number and 2 words, B, 1 number and 1 word, or C, 1 number, 1 symbol and 1 word? If you have no idea what to choose, go with your gut, guys. I know you can do it. Which is the correct answer? A, B, or C? Write down your answer now. You have 5 more seconds to think about this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time is over. Here's the solution. It's B, 1 number and 1 word. But what about the ND? It looks like a word, right? As I said, it's confusing. Okay, now comes something that many IELTS test takers get wrong all the time. Guys, if you don't get this right, your score will go down like this. How many words do we have here? A, 1 word. B, 2 words. Or C, 3 words. What do you think? Put the letter on your answer sheet now. Is it A, B, or C? I will give you another second to write down your answer. Now, enough talking. Here comes the solution. If you pick A, 1 word, you would be correct. Congratulations. It's only 1 word, guys. But why? Doesn't it look like 3 words? We're going to talk about this later. By the way, guys, if you like this game, hit the like button and comment down below whether you want to get more videos like this in the future. I would love to know what you think. Now, we have 4 more rounds to do. Let's go on with round number 6. This is a tough one. Many test takers lose points here because they don't know how to handle this. But I'm confident that you can figure it out. Is 7:20 a.m. A, 1 number and 1 word? B, 2 numbers and 2 words? Or C, 1 number? Which is the correct answer? Is it A, B, or C? If you are unsure, make an educated guess. Maybe you're lucky and get the point. You've got 5 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you chose C, 1 number, that's the correct answer. Congratulations! I know this one was hard, so if you got this wrong, don't worry, you will get there. Okay, this one is a bit tricky. Many IELTS students misunderstand this, so the question is, do you know the correct answer? How many words is this, guys? A production downturn. Is it A, 2 words, B, 3 words, or C, 4 words? What do you think, guys? Pay attention here. There is a trap. Don't fall into it. Now, put A, B, or C on your sheet of paper. If you chose B, that's correct. We have 3 words here. Let's see whether you can get this one right. How many words and or numbers is this? 23 euros. Is it A, 1 number, B, 1 number and 1 word, or C, 2 words? Put the letter on your answer sheet now. Is it A, B, or C? What do you think? How many words and or numbers do we have here? I believe in you. You can do it. If you chose B, you would be correct. Well done! Lastly, this is our final round, guys. How many words is this? Anthropology and archaeology. Do we have A, 3 words, B, 2 words, or C, 4 words? Is it A, B, or C? What do you think? I'm going to give you 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Did I hear A, 3 words? Awesome, that's correct. Here we have 3 words. Now, how many correct answers do you have? Let me know what you got. Put the number in the comments. I want to know how you did. Don't worry if you didn't get everything right. That's why we are here. Now I'm going to explain to you why the correct answers are correct. we are going to have a deep dive into how words and numbers are counted in IELTS listening. So by the end of this video, you will know how to count properly in your listening test. Let's review the game now. First, we will start with numbers. You can write them in words or as numerals. Let's use 2000 as an example. 2000 is one number. It doesn't matter how long the number is if you use numerals. It counts as one. Therefore, this is also one number. And 1 is also one number. Note that there are commas separating every 3 numerals. Don't use periods. In English, you use commas. Now, pay attention, guys. If you write out a number, it counts as words. For instance, 1 is one word. 2000 is 2 words. And that's why the correct answer for this is C, 11 words. Every word is counted. It's especially tricky here because of the hyphens. We are going to talk about hyphens later, so keep watching. For now, you only need to know that 52 is one word and 33 is also one word. It's important to know that it doesn't matter if you write out a number or not. Both are acceptable if the word count is correct. However, I recommend writing the numerals because they are shorter. Also, it's easy to make mistakes when you are writing the words. So if the instructions allow it, choose the safe options and use numerals. Now we have a look at dates. Dates are tricky if you don't know how to handle them. The reason for this is that you can write dates several ways, and they are counted as different numbers or letters. For example, June 10, 2023 is 2 numbers and 1 word. But why is June 10th 1 number and 1 word? Let's separate this into parts. June is 1 word and 10 is 1 number. But what about the TH? It's not counted, guys. The TH is viewed as a symbol, and symbols don't count. So June 10th is 1 number and 1 word. And of course, if you write the 10th of June, it's 1 number and 3 words. The next point is money. When you write down an answer regarding money, how do you count it? The standard way to write money is the symbol for the currency followed by the amount. For instance, this is $12.10. If you write it like this, you must pay attention to 3 things. And I emphasize this because if you don't do this, writing money can go terribly wrong. First, the division between dollars and cents is a period, not a comma. Don't make the mistake of putting a comma there. Second, don't put the symbol after the amount. This is wrong. Third, there must be 2 places after the period. That's wrong. You must write it like this. But if there are no cents, you can write the number with the symbol and the dollar amount, but no cents. There is no period at the end, unless it's the end of a sentence, like this. Of course, you can write out all the words if the instructions allow you to do so. For instance, instead of writing $12.10 like this, you can write it like this. But I don't recommend it, because if you have to write so many words, there is more chance for errors. You can also write $12.10. Now, you should understand why $15.30 is written like this as a number. A is wrong because the symbol is missing, and C is wrong because the symbol comes after the amount. Guys, if you find this video helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button. It means a lot to me, really. Also, comment down below whether you find counting words and numbers in IELTS listening easy or difficult. I would love to know how you feel about it. Now, let's have a look at the remaining answers, and I'm going to tell you why they are correct. Let's check out ordinal numbers. That's a fancy word for numbers that are used for showing a place in a list, like first, second, and third. You can write the words out and then their words, first, second, third. You can also write them as numerals like this. However, guys, you have to be careful. If you write ordinal numbers as numerals, you must not mix up the little letters at the end, because then you will get the answer wrong. For example, if you write them like this, the answer is wrong. Now, the question is, how are numerals counted? Why is second place one number and one word? Because second is counted as one number. The ND is not counted. And of course, place is counted as one word. So we have one number and one word. Okay, now comes something that many IELTS test takers get wrong all the time. Guys, if you don't get this right, your score will go down like this. We're talking about hyphenated words. Those are words that have little dashes in them, like follow-up visit or short-term loan. The word with the hyphen is considered one word, no matter how many sections it has. Therefore, follow-up visit counts as two words, so does short-term loan. And this explains why merry-go-round is one word. All the parts are connected with hyphens. Let's move on to time. Times are confusing, I know. From all the possible words and numbers you can write, times were my least favorite when practicing for IELTS listening. But they appear so often in the listening test. You can't get around times, guys, so you must absolutely know how they are counted. Times are typically written with the number followed by AM or PM. Therefore, 7 in the morning would be 7 AM. But how do you count it? 7 AM is one number because AM and PM are considered symbols, and symbols are not counted in IELTS listening. And if minutes are included, it's still one number, like 7:20 AM. And that's why the correct answer for this one is C, one number. Pay attention when writing times with minutes. There is a colon between the hours and minutes. Don't use a comma or period. If you write 7:20 AM like this, it's wrong. Now, let's check out a point that many IELTS students misunderstand. Compound words. Compound words are basically two words joined together to make a longer word. For example, water and proof are joined to make waterproof. A compound word is counted as one word, so waterproof is one word. Be sure to write compound words without a space in the IELTS test, because if you write it with a space, it becomes two words. With that in mind, you will understand why a production downturn is three words. Downturn is one word, and so is production. And don't forget that A is also one word, even though it's small. So we have three words here. Another important question is how to count symbols. Well, the basic rule is that they don't count. So $1.34 counts as one number on IELTS listening because the dollar sign is a symbol. And as we have just learned, 1.34 is one number. 40% is also one number. However, pay attention here, guys. If you write that out, you will have one number and one word, 40 and percent. You can also write it like this. That's two words. In other words, if the symbol is written out in words, it counts as words. If it's just drawn as a symbol, it's part of the number it goes with. And this explains why 23 euros is one number and one word. Euros is written out, so it counts as a word. It's not a symbol. And of course, 23 is a number. Lastly, we have a look at small words. Guys, you must absolutely understand how to count little words. You will lose points if you don't know how to count words like a or the. They're really small, so are these words at all? Do they count as a word? The answer is yes, those are words. It doesn't matter that they are small words, they are still words. If the question states write no more than two words and you write the Taj Mahal, you will get the question wrong, even if the answer is Taj Mahal, because the counts as a word. And so we have three words here, and you haven't followed the instructions, so you don't get the points. Don't do this. Now you will definitely understand why the correct answer for anthropology and archaeology is A, 3 words. Anthropology is 1 word. And is a little word, but it counts. And archaeology is 1 word. So in total, there are 3 words. That's it. That's how to count words and numbers in IELTS listening. I hope you guys had fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also let me know in the comments whether you liked this video and whether you want to have more videos like this in the future. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their IELTS score too. See you in the next video.